What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you for watching. Today we have a bit of a sequel to a video that we did a while back. I believe I titled it The Glock 19 That Has No Recoil. Well, today we have the SIG P365 that hopefully has no recoil. So this is the Radian Ramjet Afterburner. Here is the package that it comes in. I've got to say, I've always been a fan of Radian's packaging. I know it's a small detail, some of you might not care. I do, I think it's a plus. So again, we did the Glock 19 video a while back with the same product, and I was so impressed that I just had to try the smaller concealed carry version. Now, as I'm sure most of you know, typically smaller, lighter weight pistols have more felt recoil than full-size pistols because they're smaller, lighter weight, shorter barrel, shorter grip. Just everything you want to avoid if recoil is a concern. I know most people's initial reaction is to see a big pistol and think that must be a lot more powerful. Typically not the case. It's those little baby guns that'll get you. Ask me how I know. Holy. Well, this helps to mitigate that recoil by simply diverting the gas pressure upward to counteract the muzzle rise. It's a pretty basic concept. There's a ton of these things out there. I've tried them all. In my opinion, Radian does it about as well as anybody. At least the full-size version did. So I cannot wait to try this one. Let's do it. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take our very first shot. Like I said, I have tried the Glock 19 version. We have a video on it, but I have never fired the SIG P365 Radian Ramjet. So let's see how it feels. We all know what regular 9mm recoil looks like in a small little gun like this, so let's do it. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. Woo! I mean, it feels like a different caliber. I want to say it feels like a 380, but it's honestly different. I've actually shot 380s with more recoil than this, but it does have that softer feel. Incredible. Definitely way less muzzle rise, that's for sure. Huh. Well, you don't have to wait for my opinion on this one. I can go ahead and tell you right now, I absolutely love it. Got another mag. I know low and left is the typical miss for right-handed shooters, but I do think this one is shooting a little left. Woo! I think I'm in love. Well, I sure hope it's translating on camera. Obviously, I have no way of knowing that until I watch the footage back, but I kid you not, I think my 380 has more recoil than this. I should have brought it out. We could compare the two, but trust me, it feels good. That's all I can really say. 10 more rounds. It almost feels wrong. Like this can't possibly be a 9mm carry gun. See if we can hit that little green target. Yeah, it's shooting way left. I had to hold like 6 inches off to the right of that plate. Whew, man. She bad. Okay, now just to show you the difference, I went ahead and got my other SIG P365. This is the same exact pistol, obviously no Radian Ramjet, and hopefully you can appreciate the recoil difference through the camera. Same exact ammo as well, obviously. Yeah. I mean, it feels like you're going from a 9 to a 40. The difference really is that dramatic. So I hope you can see the difference. I can absolutely feel it. And don't get me wrong, the 9mm doesn't have a ton of recoil. This is probably the caliber I have the most experience with. So I'm quite used to the recoil impulse, but every little bit matters. And trust me when I tell you, the difference is significant. This is a lot snappier. All right, guys, the next thing I want to do is a velocity comparison between these two pistols because, as you probably know, ports can affect muzzle velocity. So I've got the chronograph on the table here, and we're going to see how big the difference actually is, if there is one at all. Okay, we'll go ahead and start with the regular SIG P365. I've got 5 rounds in the magazine, 115 grain Fiocchi. Of course, we are going to use the same ammo in both pistols. So let's see what this one does. 1026, 1037, 1073, 1047, and 1063. And the Radian Ramjet edition, we got the same exact ammo, Fiocchi 115 grain. Let's see how it does. 1069, 1068, 1045, 1023, and 1030. My God, the recoil difference is incredible. It feels like a different caliber, it really does. Okay, we shot 5 rounds out of each pistol. I'll go ahead and put the averages up on the screen here. I'm dumb, so I'm not gonna try to do that math in my head right now, but to me it didn't really look like there was much, if any, difference at all. I honestly think that ammo might be kind of inconsistent because there were some pretty big gaps in those velocities. I used Fiocchi thinking it would be higher quality and more consistent than Winchester or Blazer or something like that, but I'm not so sure. Those numbers were kind of all over the place, but they both kind of fell into that between 1,000 and 1,100 feet per second mark. So I would say they're about the same. And one more thing I wanted to show you guys, this is my SIG P365 XL in one of the Kydex holsters that I use. Obviously this does have a slightly longer slide than a regular P365. So the other day I discovered if you take the Radian Ramjet P365, and do this one-handed, it snaps right into the XL holster. So if you're looking at these but you're concerned about which holster it would fit, it looks like the XL holsters fit perfectly and it locks in place like it's supposed to. So there you go. All right, guys, obviously the whole point of the Radian Ramjet Afterburner is to mitigate recoil, muzzle rise, make it move less, more comfortable, etc. I assume you've been able to see that so far in the video, but I want to try to demonstrate this as scientifically as we can. On my infinity target here, I have drawn red lines every ½ inch. We're gonna put the muzzles of each of these pistols up against this target, and when we fire a round, you should be able to see how much they move. And if there's a difference, hopefully we'll be able to tell. Now the camera angle is like the most important part of this test so that you guys can actually see it, so I'm gonna try to get this set up properly. And we'll shoot the regular P365 first. I have 3 cameras on this test, so hopefully one of them will give us a good angle. I'm just gonna slowly press the trigger to the rear and let these pistols do what they do. I'm not gonna aggressively control the recoil like I would if I was mag dumping. So, well, let's go for it. Okay. And the Radian Ramjet edition. Oh yeah, big difference. Okay, I just watched the slow-mo. I believe it did capture it pretty well. It looked like it was about half, if not even less. And that's pretty much how it feels when you shoot it. So I know the 9mm doesn't have a ton of recoil anyway, but if it could feel like a 380 or a 22 Magnum or something like that, then that is even better. So I'll let you guys be the judge off the footage. I will say when you shoot it, it basically just feels like the slide reciprocating. You don't feel much recoil off the gunshot itself. So it's pretty incredible. All right, guys, before we get out of here, let's go ahead and take out our first pumpkin of the year. I filled it with soda and put an empty spray paint can in it. So one of the more creative pumpkins we've ever done. Let's see what happens. bad. And here's the aftermath. It kind of yeeted the top of the pumpkin off, which I thought it might do. I gotta say, this is an interesting smell. We have pumpkin soda and spray paint all combined. So there are the entrance holes right there. If we pull our spray paint can out, we definitely got it a few times. And obviously it did kind of cover the inside of that pumpkin, and then here's what we got on the back. Pumpkins are fun to shoot, and you only get them for a limited time of the year, but you kind of have to get creative to get any sort of reaction. Otherwise, it's just a hollow vegetable that doesn't really do much, so that wasn't bad. All right, guys, that is the Radian Ramjet Afterburner Sig P365. This probably goes without saying, because I'm sure you could tell from my reactions throughout the video. I'm definitely a fan of this thing, to say the least. I think I like it even more than I did the Glock 19 version that we tested a while back. Just because these little 9mm carry guns tend to be quite a bit snappier, and I was thoroughly impressed with this thing today. And by the way, this video is not sponsored. I'm not being paid or nothing like that. Not that I would lie, even if I was, obviously, but full transparency, everything I said in today's video are my honest opinions, nothing else. I think it absolutely rocks. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. As always, I'd be glad to hear from you. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button for me, guys. I would really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.